and I realized like when you are a person that work with your mind and not your hands. Like some people put a lot of value in working with their hands. Like you really do. You think that working with your hands is gonna get you somewhere. Like it really doesn't, bro. Like it don't. Like I feel you like on the my parents did that and you trying to justify everything that the people did before you that screwed up. But like the reason why you are the way you are is because you haven't done anything different than what your parents done. And your parents worked with their hands because they were desperate and the only thing they wanted to do was fix right now too. And now the only thing you want to do is fix right now. So now you working with your hands because working with your hands pay the quickest and it don't pay the longest, but it pays the quickest. So you working with your hands right now and it ain't necessarily working for you. And you trying to figure out why life ain't working. But
what are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me. Not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player, I was made to build a game.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirty Trunk Podcast, where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. And before we get started, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all, and we just want to give y'all the motivation so y'all can be better than y'all were yesterday. How we doing, Mac?
we doing good, man. Um, I can't call it, man. Got a lot of do things in the hat, man. I'm excited about a few things, man. But you know, other than that, I'm good.
Dope,
How
dope,
about
dope.
yourself?
Same. Got something coming up. That might be a little money maker on the side. Been kind of like dipping my toe into like a whole lot of new things, trying to just like get something started on the side. Uh, I had a how do we get here moment at work. That's very interesting. Um, so you guys sent me to another department, and I was after I think it was after lunch. After
Mm-hmm.
lunch, sitting there writing the time. I'm trying to leave on the board or whatever. Someone says, "Oh, happy birthday!" And I was like, "It's not my birthday. It's not my birthday. It's not my birthday." It was female. I was like, "It's not my birthday." And I turn around, it's white lady, and I was like, it clicked in my head. I was like, it's Robert's birthday. And for some reason, people keep getting me and Robert mixed up. Like at first, I
Robert
was like,
Spain?
yeah, yeah, light skinned Robert, always pushing carts.
Oh, Robert Jefferson, light skinned Robert
Light
with the
skinned Robert.
tattoos on his neck
Yes, tattoos on his neck. I've never looked at her.
from Inbound.
No,
Oh
no,
no
no,
no
no.
no no no. McCall.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh my god.
And at first, I thought it was just like white people doing that thing again, where all black people look alike. But it's
Yep
like,
yep yep.
but I can't blame it on that because actual black people have been coming up to me and be like, "Yo, Rob," and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm not that person. Like, yo, y'all look just alike. And I was like, he a couple of
No.
shades lighter than me, bruh. I don't, I, I, like, we got two different type of skin complexions. I'm pretty sure if he stayed out in the sun a little bit, he might come close to me, but nah, I don't see it. I'm sorry. Uh, But I felt my heart drop to my stomach because I'm like, this man about to get me in trouble. He need to, stop doing what he doing around here in these streets. Uh, Having white ladies come up to me thinking I'm him, and I'm like, nah, we can't be doing that. Sorry, sorry, I'm not that person.
Oh boy. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. It's very,
Well
very
then,
interesting. Very interesting walking around work. I swear, it's never a dull moment. Never a dull
yeah, I've been watching too much Blackish recently, man. So
moment.
work has been looking a
Oh
little weird to
man,
me, man.
come on.
Yeah. Work has been looking a little weird to me. I'm just like, yo, I'm noticing way too much now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. The Bree asked me, she's like, why is everything a race thing to you? I was like, let me explain something to you.
Like, let me
And
break it.
by the end of the conversation, she was like,
Yeah,
oh, you're right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that one incident we not incident, but that one moment we had, and I'm glad she felt the need to share that with us. But it kind of was a very interesting topic to bring up to two black uh males in her life that she works with, coworkers. That the whole I found this receipt in my great grandma's grandma.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very interesting. Could have just thrown it away, like, oh, this is I don't want this in my life. Get it out of here. But bring it to two handsome
No,
young black fellas.
she was weirded out by it. I can tell.
Very much so.
Um, I like she has mixed kids. I ain't about to sit up here and say that she ain't diverse. So but it was a little strange. She was like, I feel dirty about myself. She apologized about it later. I was like, what the hell are you apologizing for? It happened. Like the fuck over it. Like, do you plan on owning any soon?
Facts.
Like,
I'm
nah.
just
I was like, all right then, we good.
and that's another thing. Like it's like trying to avoid being the R word makes it worse because like you're just putting this awkward.
You just end
You're
up
making
turning
the
into Dennis.
situation. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And
It's just
you start actively doing things that's racist, but trying not to be racist at the same time. It's stupid.
try. Just be yourself, people. Uh, white, black, Hispanic,
Well, no, like
Asian.
if you telling people to be themselves, and then you have
What?
a whole bunch of
Okay.
Caucasian people out here saying the N word, bro. Like I don't know if we can condone that. You didn't hear that here.
I don't know. Just be better than you were yesterday, people. That's all you got to do. All right. Um, Jesus. This ain't really the racial podcast or the political elephant podcast people thought this was at the beginning when we first started.
Oh yeah. I remember that dude got pissed because he thought he was that we were gonna be talking about politics.
Come
Said you
on.
guys would be addressing the elephant. I thought you were about to lay those Democrats out. Like,
Wow.
no, I don't know what gave you that impression, but that ain't this one.
Not in the way you think. Uh, we're here to motivate and inspire uh people
Inspire.
to inspire people to be better. Um, and it's very interesting how uh did you have anything you wanted to touch on before we?
You good, man? Go ahead.
No. All right. It's very interesting how people like when they when they get into this mindset or like when they plot out their course or whatever it is, from high school, from wherever they start this thought process of a journey. When they first plot out their journey, like they have all these hopes, these dreams, and they got all this momentum to push forward, to start their lives and all this other stuff. But at some point, they get to the first bump or a hiccup or a major hiccup, and then they just get stuck.
Hmm.
And I want to know, like, what happens to that momentum to make them not push through that. Like some people, they hit that rock and they settle right there. Like, oh, this is nice. This is comfortable. Anything past this is it's kind of scary. But I'm gonna stop right here. But like you got all these accolades, all these accomplishments right behind you. But once you get to this mountain that you have to climb, you feel like settling at the bottom. You don't feel like climbing that. You think it's too tough. But you've gotten stuff under your belt, but you just stop.
Hmm. So, um, it seems like to me that there's an environmental factor involved in this conversation because, and I think I said it before that like people who come from different backgrounds, they think differently about certain situations. Like we are only accustomed in this environment right here, right? We are only accustomed to blue collar living.
Mm.
Like we are only accustomed to working with our hands. And it's weird that we started out this conversation the way we did because I'm gonna get into a point of something that I learned on Blackish, and it's a real thing. Like people look at TV for entertainment, and I'm just sitting here like, yo, they trying to tell us something. Like, is anybody
Yeah.
listening to this? But like people, they don't have that. Oh man, how do I put it? They don't have that faith because they don't have people around them that have faith. So like if you ain't got people around you that got faith, what am I doing thinking about something that don't exist? This job exists.
I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, it's crazy when you mention we only, we're blue collar. We only work with our hands, and like for the longest time, like I've had that problem. Like I come to a situation where, like I'm down on finances, or I need to figure out how to solve something, and all I know how to do is work
We'll
more.
clock in.
Yeah, get more hours, get more time on the job, and that solves all my problems, or that solves the immediate problem that comes up right then and there, but it doesn't solve the reoccurring problem down the line. Like,
And
yeah, I
Pat,
got enough. Yeah.
you put fix a flat in a tire with a gaping hole. Kind of yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like, and back to car issues. Like it's mainly the car that stuff. Car breaks down almost every year. Something goes wrong with the car, and we put in overtime to fix that problem, and then we continue to go to work, go to work, go to work, putting more wear and tear on the car.
And you were doing the same thing that damaged the car in the first place.
Yep. And the cycle just continues, and it goes. It can be that situation can. It can not just be a car. It could be relationships. It could be whatever you're doing that's hindering you from moving past that. And instead of learning a new skill, or doing something uncomfortable that'll get us past that, we continue to clock in.
Like you only like the problem there is like you only thinking about the right now.
Mm.
And because you desperate to figure out the problem right now, you're not necessarily thinking about the problem that's going to come in the future. And that's the mentality that people have shied away from because of their state or their state of being. Because you having this problem right now, you're so afraid of dealing with this problem right now. Like it's been a while. Like I can't think like other than the situation with the baby. Like I haven't had any issues of like panicking about a right now situation. Like I haven't put myself in any situations where a thought process that I had was going to make me frustrated about my right now situation. Like if that makes any sense. Like I don't know if I said that right, but let me try to clarify what I'm trying to say. Um, I ain't necessarily putting myself in situations where I have to be desperate to come up with a solution because I'm always thinking about the future. And the thing that I think most people have, they don't they get so what's the word I'm looking for? Bro, I'm having a lot of foggy moments right now. I think some people get so delusional about life that they don't necessarily think about, they don't have that foresight to predict when things are about to go bad or certain situations about to happen. Like it's like sometimes Alyssa, because she from a parent who likes to panic about things. She like things happen to her and she gets frustrated and I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like either you gonna fix it or you not. Like, what's the problem? Like, why are we complaining about this? Like, let's do it and move on. But I wasn't just like, why weren't you expecting this? Like, well, I was, but I'm like, so what is the problem? If you were expecting it, you knew it was happening, you knew it was a possibility, then what the hell is this conversation about? Like, let's fix it and move on. Like, I'm trying to go on this date right now. Like, we don't need to talk about that. And it just recently happened with like a bill that she received, and the folks told her, like, she like during the her OBGYN stuff, like the folks told her that she won't get in this bill. They told her like verbatim, like, you're not getting this bill, this isn't going to happen, and she ended up getting it anyway. And she was mad about the fact that she got it. I'm like, yo, the folks told you that you shouldn't get it. So just call them and let them know that it happened, and they'll go ahead and work something out with you. Like, why are we having this conversation? Like, if folks get into situations like that all the time, where it's like you had the foresight to see what's happening here, and you don't do anything about it. So we get into a whole bunch of scenarios where that happens, and people don't want to deal with the pressure of the things that's coming, so they just kind of stay where they at because they like, all right, if I stay here, then I can avoid those things that's coming because I'm too scared to deal with them in the first place.
Yeah, I feel that because, and I think that's just like a company thing. I think they send those bills out anyway. I think it's just like policy or something. Not
Yeah, they
to,
had to because they itemize your everything that you did with them, so
yeah,
it's for your
because
records.
court will get bills like that. Like she'll say, because usually she'll, before a bill come to the house or whatever, she's already like paid it online and all this other stuff, and then like we'll receive the paper jank, and the paper clearly says this was sent out on a date that's like 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago
like
or something like that.
if you paid it already, disregard. Like,
Right, yeah. And she's like, I already paid it. I was like, they send those out. We've gotten like freaking 10 of those janks. Like just throw it in the trash. Rip it up, throw it in the trash.
one time I grabbed a highlighter and took the joint out of Alyssa's hand and just gave it back to her. Just like, oh, well, they shouldn't have sent it. I'm like, okay.
They do. They do.
Uh,
Yeah. Reading is fundamental, people. Um but yeah, like people
oh, they put all
like
your reaction stuff at the top. Most people don't read through. They put all the stuff that you need to react to is right at the top of the page.
really.
But yeah.
Huh.
Everything that piss you off is right at the top of the page.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And look, and quiet as kept. There have been people who would get too afraid to take care of themselves and look out for their star player that they paid it twice.
Yep.
And these companies will let you do it.
Oh, facts. Yeah, I've had like, I forget who. I might have been like my grandma or something. I remember, and I'm pretty sure they prey on old people like that, cause like, I don't know who it was in my family, but they said they paid it right, but just because they have the bill and they have the money, they'll pay it again just to make sure, because they don't want the bill to go unpaid, and then it collects interest, then it goes to collections, and then they don't want all that.
Now, if it's a loan, then like I'm perfectly fine with that. Like paying the yeah, if it's a loan, I'm perfectly fine with that. Like that's fine. Like, but you talking like utilities or something like what or like a doctor's bill that's already balanced, paid off. Like, nah, bro, you ain't about to get the second balance out of me, dog. Like, fuck that. What we doing here?
I feel that. But yeah, like, and people will let that ruin their entire day, it'll be like a freaking stick in between the wheel of a bike, and they just flip, just totally crash, breaking stuff. They done let this thing like derail their whole day, their whole life, and it's just like you have the means to solve it. Like you putting that much energy into it is only making the problem bigger. Like it really ain't even a problem. You just created a problem out of thin air. Like you done already paid it. It's already been solved, or it's already gonna be solved regardless. Just by living
You
your
got
life, doing what you
the
do every day,
resources to start a problem.
and it's ridiculous. Like, so all right, we're gonna bring it back a bit. So like,
Yeah,
you living your life, you own your journey. You got this amazing talent. Uh, you're working at it, and because whatever reason, you had to stop working at your talent because you needed to make money. Mom's getting on you about rent or something, or you got some type of responsibility that comes up. You have a child. You get a brand new vehicle or whatever, right? And you start working at this job to make money, to solve this issue, to take care of your responsibilities, and you don't go back to that talent. You continue to work at this job, and for some reason, uh you start making problem after problem, excuse after excuse to stay with this job, instead of working at the job to make a means to get back to your talent.
yeah. Um, and well, like some of the things that I see on a regular basis is just like, yo, people just scared. They're just scared to make a move because if they make moves, it threatens their perceived sense of stability.
Hmm.
Like if I go out and try to make something happen, like I got this skill, yes, but in order for me to pursue the business that relies on this skill, then it puts me in a position where I have to miss work. And if I miss work, then this is gonna happen. If that happens, then this happens. If that happens, then this happens. So like it's a lot of negative things associated with the fact that I had to miss work in order to get this done. So people don't necessarily put themselves in a mind frame where like if I work this overtime, then let me use this overtime money to supplement that time off that I know I'm going to have trying to make this business work. Instead, people are using this overtime money to pay more bills because they're so afraid of the bills. So money has become most people's god. and because they have forsaken the word itself, and like for real, I'm not stuff like that, but you got to understand that this stuff was predicted for us. Like, I don't know who wrote the Bible, I don't know why it was written. Like, hardcore Christians will tell you that the Bible was written because God told Abraham to put this stuff on the slab, or whatever the case was. I don't know, but the stone tablets, I meant. But I don't know who wrote it, but whoever wrote it, they predicted the way humans live their lives, because humans think in a certain direction, and the Bible tells you straight up, like, if you put money over your own gift, then this is the way. Like, it literally spells it out, like this road or that road. Like, if you take this road, then this is where I'm going to go. If I take this road, this is where I'm gonna go, and this is where I'm going to end up. Whereas if I do what God tells me to do in the Bible, then I'm going to have my riches, and I'm going to live my life in prosperity. But the thing is, like, yo, you have put yourself in a position where you have done everything against the good book. The good book tell you to do it. You don't do it. There's movies out here who are making killings because they are looking at these same principles. They're looking at these same things. They're basing these characters off of these same principles, and you watching them, and it's just entertainment to you. And like, it's just simple stuff that people are not doing in their own lives. Just simple switches in the mindset that people are not making, just to make their lives better. So because you have made money your God, now everything that you do revolves around money. And if you ain't getting money, then you don't want nothing of it. So like, like, all of a sudden you become this person that can't get off this paycheck mentality. So if it don't bring you a paycheck in 2 weeks, then you can't do it, and you can't dedicate yourself to it.
I feel that. So what you're saying is, like, people out here, y'all can have that Hallmark movie. You at that dead end secretary job. You can quit that job, move to the countryside, find you a nice little cowboy, and just live off the farm. Have a little pay cut. Y'all got all y'all need to be self sufficient on the farm. You can have your little cowboy kids, and live on the ranch, and all this good
Yeah,
stuff.
bro. Because
Yeah,
Manda did it. We
yeah, man.
talked about her on one of the episodes. I boxed up my life, bro. Like, she was working a job, and she wanted to train horses for a living. So she put her whole life in a box and was like, I'm going to go ahead and make this happen,
Yeah,
and quit her job when she made that realization that she wasn't living her life the way she wanted to. So she quit her job and started training horses. People told her, like, yo, this ain't the way. The difference between her and y'all, like, y'all listening to the people
hmm
who that you think they got good intentions for you, but they don't even know what you're trying to do. They don't even know what you're trying to accomplish. But yeah, you just set up
Facts.
there and let them tell you that what you're doing is not the thing to do.
And those be the people that's afraid to do what you're doing, to take control over your life,
Yeah,
to take the reins, and do what you like, do what you want to do in your life. And that goes back to my thing that kind of sparked this topic, right? Like, people have this goal in life, this big dream, and they start it, they stop it, and then what? Like, you can start it again. Like, you can get back on that path. Yeah, you had a little stumble, you had a little break, little little vacation from the goal or whatever, from the journey. But get back on it and, like, ride that thing. Like, you have the power to control your own life. And a video I was listening to, they talk about it uh like a box, right? People only live in the confines of what they can imagine, right? If someone can only imagine, working a 9 to 5 and working up the corporate ladder and all this other stuff, that's all they'll be. They'll only be what their mind can imagine for them. Or they'll only live the life that they can imagine for themselves. If they can't
Mm-hmm.
imagine this lavish entrepreneur, training horses, being a famous musician or all this other stuff. If they can't imagine that for themselves, like they'll never have that for themselves. But
Yeah.
like we said, when you're a kid, you believe like you can do any and everything. But some, after, like, I guess so many negative
Usually
people
about
get in
first
their
grade.
ear. First grade.
Usually about first grade, it's done. It's gone.
Come on.
About first, yeah, like that's a real thing. Usually about first grade, you have started learning math,
Mm,
and they like, you know what, all that stuff that you were saying about. I know you said you wanted to be a king one day when you grow up, but let me tell you, you black. First of all, that ain't happening. First of all, let me tell you that you from the hood. Um, you being a princess ain't got shit to do with this math homework.
come on.
F. Yeah, ain't got nothing to do with nothing. So like it usually gets kicked out about right there. That's where it starts.
Mm.
And it ain't like the schools out here like preaching creativity. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
ain't like they out here and they trying to get you to stay in line because for whatever reason, like the school has become just a babysitting program for your kids. Like it's not even real. Like not public school anyway. Like I don't know nothing about private school. I heard private schools a lot better. I'm
He said
hoping one day
no.
that I can put my kids in private school. I'm
Mhm.
hoping one day I can do that. I just know that the school system that I grew up in, my kids can't go there. They're not. I can't do it. Like it is not a good fit for me. I'm just being real. Like my kids, I can't put my kids through that, bro. Like I can't put myself through that. Like screw that. Screw my kids. Like I can't put myself through that because my legacy needs to have some kind of value. And I know that the biggest chance that I can give them to take them somewhere else. Like I'm just being real with you. But let me talk about that thing that I seen on Blackish, bro, because I think it might apply
Mhm.
here.
Okay.
You tell me if it don't or not. But um, like I said earlier, man, like I think for like people from different environments have this problem only. Like it ain't like people from the suburbs, people who with that where the median household income goes over that average level. Like people, it ain't too many people in those environments who they having that thought about like or they in this situation that we're talking about. Like they not involved in that, right? Like I remember meeting a girl when I was back in high school, and she was from a different school, and she was hanging out with some friends that like some people that I was friends with back in the time, and I was like talking to her, and I could just tell that something about this girl was different. I didn't know what it was. It was just like the way she talked, like the conversation that she would get involved in. Like I could just tell that something was different, right? So it wasn't until we had to take this girl home that I think I got the picture of what was going on here. We were driving up to it was like man, like Chesterfield area somewhere,
Mm.
and like she was giving us directions from the back because that was before GPS and all that other stuff started popping off like that. Like I think I still had a flip phone at the time. Like that's how long ago that was. But she telling us to go, like telling us the directions or whatever. And we pull up in this neighborhood, Mark, and every house was like 3 times bigger than the one I'm living in now, bro. And I was like, oh, that's why. That's why So she different because her parents different. I get it now. So like what sparked that is me. I was watching this episode of Blackish, and the main character Andre was trying to teach his son a valuable lesson
I think I know
about
where you're
using
going with
your.
this.
He was trying to teach his son a valuable lesson about using his mind. And he said something about white people not out here using their hands like that. So you gotta understand that using your mind, because he was trying to convince him to go to school, I think. He was like, so if you use your mind, then that is the only way that you're going to succeed in life. And like he was trying to tell the conversation to his coworkers. And I realized something like he was talking about how good he was with his hands. He was like, "Yo, no, like I ain't trying to be like that. I ain't trying to sell out or nothing. Like I'm good with my hands, but I just don't necessarily do that." He did. So his boss, who his and some of his coworkers who were white guys, they came in and was like, "Oh, the hand people." Yeah, yeah, like that was my same reaction. I was like, "Hold up," and completely put a pause on my life right there. So it taught me something, and I realized like when you are a person that work with your mind and not your hands. Like some people put a lot of value in working with their hands. Like you really do. You think that working with your hands is gonna get you somewhere. Like it really doesn't, bro. Like it don't. Like I feel you like on the my parents did that, and you trying to justify everything that the people did before you that screwed up. But like the reason why you are the way you are is because you haven't done anything different than what your parents done. And your parents worked with their hands because they were desperate, and the only thing they wanted to do was fix right now too. And now the only thing you want to do is fix right now. So now you working with your hands because working with your hands pay the quickest, and it don't pay the longest, but it pays the quickest. So you working with your hands right now, and it ain't necessarily working for you. And you trying to figure out why life ain't working, but you ain't trying to enhance your mind to do anything.
Yeah, yeah, and all that just reminds me of like the situation we're in, and like I remember
But yeah,
working.
we definitely in that right now, both
Yeah,
of us.
yeah, working at a construction site. Old than me, he probably about in his maybe like 60s, 70s, maybe he up there in age basically. And he took pride in knowing the ins and outs of how to do this construction thing. He been doing this construction thing for a good little minute, but yet
Mm.
you know he at the same level as me. I'm just starting this construction work, this
You know what I'm
construction
saying?
whatever, and he got guys younger than him, like close to my age, maybe in their 30s or whatever, telling him what to do. And like they bumping heads because he should be where they are, but because like you said, he
Yeah.
only works with his hands and not his mind.
And they
He
never
in
they
that.
never seem to get
Yeah,
that they never seem to make that shift, dog. Like, yo, you talking about how your manager is younger than you. Like, yo, that shit doesn't even matter. We talked about that with some of the people that we work with
yeah,
who got pissed off about the fact that they got seniority over somebody, or they worked here so many years, and I'm like, yo, like your manager ain't even been working in general as many
yeah.
years as you worked here.
Facts.
Like, why does what you're talking about even matter? Like, what do you like where do you get off saying that? Like, it doesn't matter how long you worked here. Like, that's not even important. Why do you think like you rule a conversation just because you've been working here the longest? Like, you the longest running slave on this ship.
Facts.
Like, bro, get out of here with that. Your manager, he know how to use his mind. He to enhance his mind enough for them to come recruit him out of college. Meanwhile, you barely got a high school degree, a high school diploma.
I remember one of the dudes, one of the higher up guys. I was talking to him. I was like, how sometimes I'll ask him like how they find this job or whatever.
All
One
right.
of them was like, they hit him up. I was like, they do that? He was like, yeah, I
Yeah, for
finished
them,
such and such. They was like, they hit me up, said they had a little program for me, and I accepted it. I was
quiet kept my the some of the people that like the older ones now
like,
that work with us. They same thing.
okay,
They put
all
their
right.
resume out. They put their resume out in the air. This is what I've done. This is where I've been to. I've been around the world and back, and yeah. This is my degree. You know, my company A is no longer in the picture. I'm looking
Mhm.
for a job, and people come in and try to swoop in and vulture them up.
Come on.
Yep, that's exactly what happens.
I ain't got there yet.
No,
Hey,
and I was watching another joint, bro.
mm,
And I hate to keep coming back to movies, but there's a reason why
nah.
I'm doing that
They speak
because
to
like
us.
go ahead.
I was gonna say like movies and TV shows, they low key speaking to people but like you
They
said,
definitely speaking to me. So yeah, I was watching this joint and damn, I can't even remember what it was though. Like I feel like it was so long ago I actually seen this, but it wasn't like one of the main characters in the movie. But like she became an executive at a company,
mm,
and she wanted to do something that was more aligned with her passion. She was working alongside the main character. It had to be a rom com. I think it was definitely a rom com, but she was like I said, she was the executive in the company. She did something to make the main character seem like she wasn't, rom coms do. They have that one character that pushes the other character, and then the love interest start like at the end they have this blow up or whatever. So she was the one that incited the blow up by accident, but she didn't realize what she was doing. So when the main character told her that she did that, she was like, "Oh, I didn't know our company was doing that." So she quit. And then
oh,
as she quit, she helped the main character get with her love interest. And then the main character at the end of the movie, they were having a conversation. She was like, "I'm sorry," all that other stuff like that. And she was like, "But I just wanted to let you know that I did quit my job." And she was like, "Wait, what? Why did you do that?" She was like, "I did it for you." It's like, what? What do you mean you did it for me? She was like, but you were an executive. And the woman said out of her mouth, once you're the executive for one company, it's easy to become an executive for another.
oh, yeah. Apparently, once you get to that top level of echelon, uh, apparently it's very easy to once you get the know how, it's very easy to take that journey over again. Cause I remember I forget his name, but some dude uh he gave himself a challenge and he recorded it. He was like, in 7 days I'ma start a company and take it from nothing to a multi-million dollar company or something like that. And I was just like, all right. And that's basically what he does. He kind of like flips companies, or like he starts businesses from the ground up and build them from the ground up. But he gave himself like, I think 7 days or something, some type of budget. He wouldn't go, or he wouldn't spend over this amount of money or whatever, and he's gonna build this company to be a multi-million dollar company.
That sounds fun, actually.
He said that.
That sounds fun. I used to like hear stuff like that, and
uh,
it used to
psych you a little bit,
sound like
or
yeah, it used to sound like it would like it'll put a little flutter in my
stress.
chest. But now I'm hearing that and it sounds fun. Like I'm just like, yo, I want to do that. But anyway, the one of the problems that I see with other people is that same mentality of that executive who was just like, yo, I found another job as an executive.
Hmm.
People at the bottom are doing the same thing.
What do you mean?
Once you find a job, as a worker, as a hand guy, Once you find a job as a hand guy, it's easy to find another job as a hand guy. Like you're doing the same thing. It's the same mentality all the way around. Like I lose my job, and for whatever reason, bro, people who poor, who ain't got no money anyway, they panic about not having a job, even though if you ain't got a job, you just gonna get another one anyway.
Yeah.
It's so strange, man. Like I don't really understand how that works, but they do. Um,
Or they'll get two and then stress over losing one. And
but
then,
they get too and stressed about not having time.
oh,
And none of this makes sense.
it don't.
Like it's literally only one path that makes sense to me. Like I don't know how other people look at it. Like maybe we delusional. Maybe we the ones that's tripping. I don't know. I don't fucking know, man.
Nah, cause like when you mention the whole like background thing, like we come from two different backgrounds. Uh,
Not really.
I mean,
We discussed on the episode with
household
uh
households. I mean, like we got we same kind of area, you know, same public schooling and all this other stuff. Uh, but like we don't get stuck in that mindset. Like we have our ups and downs. We have our moments, but like we're in the trenches trying to get out. And like people, we find some people that are with us, but like we don't find as many people like us
temporarily with us.
work it, yeah, temporarily. Uh, we don't find too many people like us in the environment we're in, and I'm guessing we have to like venture out, find our people.
Yeah.
But like, what would it take to spark these people out their funk? Because like we've seen, or we've had, you know, photographers in our faces. We've had engineers in our faces, graphical designers in our faces, uh, you know, artists, music, art wise, and nothing. We ain't got a $1 million company yet, a design team or nothing yet. You know, uh,
Your question.
we
You
got
had a
all this
question,
talent.
right?
We got all this talent. We got all this talent around us. Nobody's using it to their full extent.
I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. We have come across a litany of people who, if we all put our talents together, then we could make something. We could make a difference. That's what Ascension Media started out to be. That's why it's called Ascension Media and not I don't know. Like it's not singular. Like it was supposed to be Team Ascension, like from the beginning, and like we have come across a lot of people with a lot of different skills. Some skills that we do actually still need right now.
Yeah.
But the problem is like I told you already, like, yo, people are desperate for money. People ain't desperate to have a vision.
That's true.
People are desperate for money. So people looking for right now stuff. Like this can't pay me right now. That don't benefit me. I'm gonna go work for what's making money right now. Like I don't care. Like you talking about that future stuff. Like the future ain't right now. Like if I don't pay this rent today, I'm getting kicked out. If I don't pay this car note by tomorrow, I'm getting kicked out. Like I need money right now. So people are out here doing right now stuff. Like this stuff that we doing right, this stuff that like that's going on right now. Like with what we're working on, Mark. Like this is stuff that's benefiting. Like we're biding our time. We're biding our time for the future. We're putting our work in on the front end so that we can work, so we can get paid on the back end. And some people have that philosophy a little twisted because they have tied themselves to the riches so much so that they can't get out of the mindset that they can actually do something that's going to benefit their future. And they don't understand that if you do that, then you're not going to see it right now, but understand that one day if you sow these seeds long enough, that as eventually something is going to grow out of the soil, and they don't necessarily understand that. So when you got people who are desperate for money, they'll start talking to you like, oh yeah, like if you make the dream sound real good, like they're gonna roll with you. But the moment that they realize like, yo, I gotta invest time into this and this ain't paying me, they out. They out. Which and there's a few exceptions. Some people, like there was that one kid that you introduced me to who was showing me all his drawings on his phone or whatever, but ain't necessarily have no Instagram or no website or something like or nothing like that. Like he like he I told him that I would pay him, but I think something about his story about what he was able to draw. We got lost in translation somewhere. Like I don't think he was really about what he said he was about. Like I just got that feeling. Like I think that's why that happened. Like I just don't think that he was as good as he said he was. Either that or he like because I don't know. Like if I know how to do something and I'm as confident as he was at telling me about how good he draws, like I don't know if I would just turn down money like that. So like it's some stuff like that too. Like people understand that I think I'm good at this, but if I stay in this environment that don't know no better, then I could be the best at it.
Yeah, that. Yeah, if think I know who you're talking about. I haven't seen that dude in a while actually.
Yeah, he
Uh,
was gone like 2 weeks after that. Ain't last long.
was it really? Oh man, he's a good kid, good guy, good guy. Uh, I lost what I was about to say. Oof. Okay.
Was it about people's passions and how they can say they the best at something, but they ain't necessarily gotta stack it up to nobody?
Not
No.
really, but
Okay.
I've noticed that a lot. Like you know, that's how we know that people have all these talents because for some reason they feel like they have to flaunt it around us or they have to mention it, but like
Hmm.
they don't have that confidence piece behind it. They don't have the I'm willing to do this in the name of my passion. A
Right.
lot of people they'll say all that. We'll be like, hey, we got a spot for you, but
Yeah.
like once we get that, you gotta take time off work to, or we gotta plan stuff around the job instead of just, hey, let's meet on this day and knock something out. Oh, but I gotta work or I gotta something non-related to my talent is gonna be put in front of my talent.
Yeah.
That's basically what uh it boils down to.
Yeah.
We've had quite a few moments where we had to plan things around work, or I mean, we still do kind of, but we still find time to do things like this podcast. We still find time to get schoolwork done, uh practice skills outside of work. We still find that time to put in the work, and people don't want to do that. People will come up with a million and one excuses to not do the things that'll get them out of the life they're in,
Yeah.
or
'Cause-
they won't do the things they need to do to have the life that they want to live.
yeah. Some people, man, like I see a lot of, like that. I talk about like having work friends and all that other stuff like that. Like some people, they get to this point where whenever they're planning something with people, like they try not to plan outside of work for some reason. Like it's the weirdest thing. Like they just think that we can have these conversations at work. And like all this stuff, all that essential media stuff sound good while we own the clock. And like, oh yeah, I can do this, I can contribute that to it. But the moment where you say like you got to meet outside of work to discuss business, that's usually where it stops right there. That's usually where it stops. Like oh man. And I just thought about that just now. Like, like that's usually where the thing where it drops off at. Like, we having a real smooth conversation. We talking about all these plans and stuff. But I guess you thought that we were just gonna be meeting up in the break room and trying to talk business in between our breaks. Like, I don't know what people be thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like you just thought that we about to like sit down and have a whole discussion, a business plan while Bishop over there talking about his smoker at the break room table. Like I like the Discovery ID plan on this TV over here. You just thought somebody buying the C Avenue stuff over here. You just thought we were about to have a whole business conversation right there, and like, bro, nah. Like, the moment that I start talking about like meeting up outside of work, and I tell people straight up, like, I've entertained conversations for far too long about people doing what they supposed to be doing, bro. And now I get to a point where I'm like, yo, money where your mouth at, right at the start of the conversation. Like, yo, I don't have time for this. So like, I gotta weed them out fast, I'm just like, yo, you come up to me talking about something like, bro, I was talking to one dude about how he was trying to release his one book for like 3 years, bro. Like, I ain't got time for this shit. I ain't got time for this, bro. So like, yo, we need to wrap this up. Like, yo, it's like, all right, so you got that skill, I got this going on. What are you doing? Are we meeting up or not? Like, oh well, yeah, all right, stop. It's okay. We don't have to continue this conversation no more. It's fine. It's fine. Like, I put a lot of people in their place like that, bro. And like I said, I'm not trying to be arrogant, but like, yo, y'all gotta understand, I'm on a different level, bro. I'm on a different level. Like, I ain't for all those games. I ain't for the tiptoeing through life stuff. Like, I'm good on that. Like, my job, I need my job right now, but I know it's only right now. Like, I ain't depending on the job to sustain me for the rest of my life. And the problem is with most people is that you depending on a job to sustain you for the rest of your life, and you ain't got no vision for nothing else to sustain you. That's the problem right there. You don't got a vision for nothing else to sustain you. You just working off of what you're working on right now. So anything that comes up outside of that, it's almost like it threatens your livelihood. I don't know how it happened. I don't know where we get this mentality from, but you just like, oh yeah, that don't, like, I ain't making no money off of that, so it don't even exist. Meanwhile, there's other people out here saying that don't exist right now, but I want it, so therefore I will make it exist. Right. And some of y'all, you sitting on skills, bro. You thinking that your hands is a skill, bruh. You thinking your hands are a skill when there's literally people out here telling you that I don't use my hands for a living. It's not, bro. You up here in this environment. You laughing at other grown men with money telling you that they get pedicures for a living. But they get manicure. What is manicure for your hands, right? Yeah, pedicure for your feet. Yeah. You laughing at other grown men when they tell you that they get manicures for a living, bro. You calling them less of a man when they say they get manicures for a living. But there's only one of those men that's part of that conversation that's taking care of their family on a high level. So while you sitting up there, bullying them for their pedicure or their manicure, they can buy you.
Fact. That ain't a cheap luxury thing that you just go out and get. They ain't like haircuts. I mean, haircuts pretty expensive too. Though. And they ain't expensive, but you know they can get pricey too.
I was waiting on you to finish. I didn't know if you were gonna go.
Oh, no. I was like that's all I was gonna say. That's yeah.
But yeah, bruh. So like, you out here thinking that your hands are gonna is gonna take you into the next level. You out here thinking that, okay, yeah, I'm the jack of all trades. I can do a lot of stuff with my hands. Meanwhile, the man who gets it done on a high level, who's making high level decisions, he just get a jack of all trades like you to do the job. But you got the skills. You got the same skills he got. That man know how to do it. He just ain't doing it. He'd rather get somebody like you to do it so he can go do something else.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Walton said,
How
you can inspire people.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever, y'all don't know who Sam Walton is. He's the mastermind behind Walmart and Sam's Club. Sam Walton said that if you can inspire enough people to stand behind your vision, you can get them to follow through on their vision, and you will never have to work again in your life. I'm sorry, what? So you got people out here saying stuff like that, and I worked at a Walmart distribution center where that was on the wall as soon as you came in the building. So I'm working with people. I'm working alongside people who don't even get it. You like, yo, I'm good with my hands. I'm like Sam Walton said, you ain't gotta be good with your hands. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, I don't want to hear how good you are with your hands. That don't matter. It has no grounds. That has no basis in reality right now. I need you to understand that you got to do something with your mindset. And the longer that you sit on the knowledge of what you have, is the more chances that whatever is cooking in your brain, as brilliant as it is going to die with you.
Yeah, and it's insane how, like you said, well, how we're talking about like people who work with their brain instead of their hands make the big bucks, basically, right? The people that work with their minds, they really don't even have to work it at all. Like on this,
They don't work. They don't work.
Facts. Like on this money making trip, this entrepreneur trip. You know, I've seen countless of videos where dudes are like, they're basically making millions from networking or being the middleman. Like, yeah, you got a talent. All right, so I'm gonna bring this guy that needs your talent. I'm gonna connect y'all two together, and then whatever you produce or whatever this guy over here is producing, I'm gonna take that and sell it over here, and I'm just connecting people. I'm just connecting dots, and I'm making millions. I ain't put in no hard work. I ain't made not a single product, but because I'm connecting people, I'm just connecting dots.
Hold up, because I'm the man.
Well,
I'm the man. Like, I'm the man, so I get to sell. I get to put my name on whatever y'all do because y'all work for me.
Right.
Like, I'm the one that created the company. I'm the one making the hard decisions for the company. I'm the one putting everything together. I'm the one that connected y'all and gave y'all jobs in the first place. I'm the man. I have the power, so I can do that. Like, I don't have to work. Our GM, as much as high of a status as he is in our building, that dude don't work. He comes in, he makes about 2 or 3 hours of heartbreaking decisions, and the rest of his day is chopped up to his assistant.
Okay.
Like he'll stress out in front of some calls. He'll, have some head scratching stuff going on, but like, dude, like the rest of his day is like networking, bruh. Like, for real, like, yo, like, the higher you move up, like and like, this ain't about no, bruh, I promise y'all, this ain't about no climate corporate America stuff. I promise you. Like, I don't know if my man went to college. I ain't got no, He might have. Like, I don't think he started off at the bottom. Like, I think he might have. Like I don't know. I
Started
actually
off
don't
in the
know his
middle.
story, but but for real, this ain't about no climbing up corporate America stuff, dog. Like the way this, even the same way you climb in corporate America is the same way you climb in real life. Like you gotta to network with people, and you got to get other people to pull you up, and you got to find a way to use the leverage of the people above you to pull you up. And the quicker that y'all understand that, the quicker that you can actually make something work in your own lives, right? The quicker that, like, I know for a fact that I need to continue connecting with more authors in order to push myself forward, because the more authors that I'm connected to, the more I can get in touch with their mailing list and the people that are in touch with them, and the more I can expand. This is about a networking thing. This ain't about keeping you just trying to protect yourself. And that's the problem here, because you just trying to protect yourself. Nothing is happening for you because of that. So once you get to this point where you understand that I have to stop using my hands and use my brain, this is what's going to change my life. And the moment that you get there is the moment that things are going to start coming into place for you. That's going to be the moment where you're going to start to see the vision for your future. Because like you just been in this thing. You had the handcuffs on, but your handcuffs has been on the wrong part of your body. Your handcuffs was on around here. You had the fitted cap on. You just tighten it up, and your hands is like free to go. But you gotta be. Come on, y'all. I need somebody to hear this. You gotta be that person that turns your hands off and turn your brain on. Like, we gotta leave it there. Because your ideas, the dreams and goals and ideas that you have, they can't die with you, because they are brilliant. Oftentimes, they're like, I've talked to people who I think are shit people, and then they tell me about some of the stuff that they got going on in their head, and I'm like, just like, yo, give me an idea. What do you got? Like, yo, and they come up with something brilliant. I'm obviously not going to repeat it now, because that's a violation of privacy. But still, like, I talk to so many people, and they tell me their ideas, and I'm like, yo, if you worked on that, I think you can give the world some real value. And they're like, but how much can I get paid? It's like, you worry about the wrong thing, young buck. The dude was actually twice my age, but I still called him a young buck, because I wanted him to feel exactly what I was trying to sell him in that moment. And yeah, he don't like me no more, but still, that's not my problem. But yeah, I need y'all to understand that the things that are going on inside of your head, the ideas that you have, they're magnificent. Your brain is amazing, but it will never be realized if you don't realize it first. You have to figure out how to stop with the hard work and start with the smart work, because the smart work is the only thing that's going to push you to the next level, not what you're doing now. And to that note, like, I want to add this before we get off of here, Mark. Like, even to some of y'all who have already started doing the smart work, the reason why you're not succeeding is because you're doing smart work like hard work. You treat smart work like hard work. So every decision that you would make as a person that uses their hands, you try to bring that same philosophy over into your smart work. So you got a business that you started on, and I talked about my mom, right? My mom owned the store, and for whatever reason, my mom didn't want to hire no employees. I don't know how that worked. Like, you about to be the business owner and run the business at the same time. You're there from the time it opens to the time it closes. You don't want to hire no employees. So you got the smart work. You already started on the smart work. You already got it established, but for whatever reason, you ain't trying to do nothing to maintain it. And everything that you do to contribute to the smart work is only hard work. So you making it hard for yourself, and that's why you're not succeeding. And we can get to a couple of examples of that on another episode. I think we ran out of time on this one.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do we have coming up, Mac? What we got?
I'm finishing I know I said it was gonna be done by the end of summer though, so it's the beginning of summer, so I'm feeling kind of good about myself. But well, I guess the middle of summer. But I promised the book 5 will be done. I said it before the end of summer, so I'm good with that. I'll be finished within the week or so, man. So I'm excited. It's been a long time coming on that, and boy, I I am ready to get away from it for a while and go back and start reworking through book 1 and the rest of the series, man. Add some more beef to it, and I'm hyped, man. I really am. Like I ain't even gonna lie to you, dog. But yeah, that's what I got coming up. Sigma 6 is still in the works. Finished the little dialogue and the sketch bubbles, sketches, and all that other stuff in that. That's coming soon. I'm not sure how long that's gonna take. I said spring last year. That was a ridiculous goal, bro. Like I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, man. Uh, I understand now. Seeing how Lamar do it. Why it took him so long to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, it's everything is coming along good, man. I ain't gonna complain about nothing. I got a few complaints that I could go into, but I ain't gonna complain about nothing, bro.
Right. That's what's up. That's what's up. So what I got coming up, come next week or probably next time we get on the podcast, I have more to talk about it. But uh, sometime next week, depending on when I can get a appointment, I will get sworn in. Gonna become a notary public. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna use that to become. They call it a Ron remote online notary. Uh, and they got like a couple of websites where uh you just kind of put your name on there and like they'll give you clients. Um, just little side jank. Probably get started with. Um, so yeah. Uh, that's about it. That's about it. I
Okay.
already did the whole application thing, got accepted. Um, now I gotta call up to my my local courthouse or whatever, see if they have my paperwork. Go up there, set an appointment. Go up there, get sworn in, take the little oath or whatever, and go from there. Uh, other than that, that's about it.
Well, I'll be.
Yeah, yeah. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Dirty Trunk Podcast where the elephant is always welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack. And before we go, please trample over that like and subscribe button. We do this for y'all because we love y'all. We want y'all to be better than y'all were yesterday. And always remember, those who shy away from addressing the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it. We love y'all.
Peace. Love y'all. See y'all next week.